Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, subscribing, right? Help expand our Sangha. Thank you for your practice. A short video again. I'm going to do 2 today. After this, I'll get back into Nichiren on karma. But something, for whatever reason, came up in my mind early this morning. It's a question, it's a response to a question I've heard from many of you, and in my own mind, over many years of practice, about this: what should be in our mind, how should we think, what is our attitude when we go to our Butsudan to chant or to recite, to do Gongyo, right? Because there's all this, so much rhetoric out there about, empty your mind, like that's even possible. Even I've heard, stop your mind thinking. Well, that's death. There is no such thing. So, in fact, to that point, right, impermanence, constant change, everything momentum, nothing ever stays the same. So, perhaps, as Nichiren has talked about, you have great challenges in your life. Something just happened, something that's stoked fear in you, or a great motivation to change something. You're motivated, you're in turmoil, you're in emotional havoc, and you need support, you need to get through something. And so what you're most often thinking in your own mind, or more often told to think, take it to Gohansan, take it to Gohansan. But no one ever describes what the heck that really means. So most people just go, okay, I'm going to go to my Butsudan, open it up, light my incense, do all the things, and I'm going to start chanting to change something, to fix something, to get something, to achieve something, to get rid of something, whatever. And you've heard me rail against this. And so, but this morning I had this thought, and I thought, maybe the trick is, for our samsaric mind, is that we've never been taught really to prepare our minds for enlightenment. Yeah, you could say all of our practice is that, but bear with me for a moment. It may be that what gets you in front of your Butsudan is this intensity of turmoil, whatever it is. Maybe it's sadness. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's, insert a realm here, right? But pay attention to the words I just used. And pay attention to the words that you are using, that are going, because they're streaming through your head. "3,000 realms in a single thought moment." All right. I told myself I was going to keep this simple. Here's the deal. I'm not telling you not to think. I'm telling you to prepare your mind. All of this stuff is going on in your life. What you're forgetting, by the way, is that it's not permanent. No matter what you think you need to do, it doesn't matter. Because it's changing as you're thinking about it. Whatever, right, I don't want to dissect it too much, but please, come back to Buddhism and understand that if you're obsessing about anything, you're in the holds of Mara, of Yama, of the Daroku no Mao, of thingnifying, of samsara, of the very thing Shakyamuni identified as, well, no big surprise, you're suffering, yay. Nothing new here. that what you're experiencing is the fallout from your attachment to something. One of the 8 winds is got you by the cojones, right? And you can go on the core study page on threefoldlotus.com and download the document I just made a few days ago on the 8 winds. But that's all well and good. You can educate yourself on that, understand that, know that. But how do we chant? So I put up this document today. It's on the core study page. I put it right at the top, right under the core study materials link, which is a self link. Presence at the Butsudan. That's what I called it. It's a short, couple paragraphs, short document. And I wrote out, is this camera focused or? Okay. I wrote out a kind of a mental exercise, right? So that I'm reminding you that when you sit in front of your Butsudan and you prepare yourself to chant, recite Gongyo, and this is more specifically the answer to what should be in your head when you begin your practice of chanting, recitation. Take a breath. Take a breath and remind yourself, I know there's a lot going on, blah, 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 but remind yourself of what you're doing in that moment. In that moment. Be in that moment. Remind yourself that what you're doing, enacting, physically arranging, Butsudan, mandala, your mind, your presence. Where you need to be right now is Namu. You need to be in the story of the Lotus Sutra, in the Treasure Tower chapter, where you're one of the attendants who's just been risen into the air, and Buddha, Shakyamuni, and Tahoe are in the Treasure Tower addressing you. See it, be it, feel it. Remind yourself, what is this? What is this feeling? What am I feeling? Right? I'm trying to get you away from the monkeys that are screaming at you for help. I want them to fade into the background as you consider where you are right now. Floating in the air, in front of the Treasure Tower. There's Shakyamuni talking to me. Take a breath. Settle in. So all that other stuff, it's changing. Your lock on that other stuff is an illusion because it's not what you're hanging on to. It's changing. Who cares? Let it change. That's not what you're here for. You're floating in the air looking at the Treasure Tower. Take a breath. Center yourself. Start to feel. You'll notice when you do this, you're kind of returning into your own body. Where was I? What the hell was going on? Doesn't matter. I just want you to notice that you're in your body again, because you weren't. You were somewhere else, in some delusionary state, somewhere. Doesn't matter. Let it go. I'm here now. I'm in front of the Treasure Tower. Oh, my goodness. Another breath. Relax. This is good. This is, maybe it's a little bit intense, but I just want you to be here right now. See yourself in the Treasure Tower chapter, in the Lotus Sutra, about to receive. Have your expectation start to develop in this moment of what you're about to do. And know that what you're about to do, oh yeah, there are no problems there. Because everything is just the constantly changing cornucopia of life. Not good, not bad, not indifferent, just happening. The verb of life. The energy of the formations of everything. All that other stuff should be fading now. It should be, maybe it's out here spectating. Let it. Turn the sound down. Focus on the treasure tower. Breathe again. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Here I am. Here I am present. About to instigate, invoke this all-knowing being in the current of life, totally moo. I'm here now, and I'm dedicating myself. And now I'm going to do it. I'm prepared. Then begin chanting. Does that work? Can you visualize that? It might take a few minutes. Keep working at it. It should become second nature. It should become so second nature that whenever you go to your Butsudan, no matter what it is that drives you there, put it aside, put it on the floor, put it behind you. It's not going away, but it's constantly changing. And that's what we're going to address. That constant change, we're about to influence it. But we don't have to look at it to influence it. We need to apply our fundamental Buddha energy to all life, and it'll change. Have confidence in that. That's what you bring to Gohonzon. The Gohonzon is your state of mind that answers all of this. So, when somebody tells you, or you hear, and I've said it myself, because you get used to the rhetoric, bring it to Gohonzon. Actually, you don't. You bring it to Butsudan, and then you set it aside. Because if you actually bring those thoughts into your mind of practice, you're not practicing Buddhism. You're practicing hanging on to samsara, the very thing you're trying to break, to liberate yourself from, and you're throwing it into the treasure tower. What? Right? Do you see how abhorrent that is? So when you go to your Butsudan, you should just have this, you open it up, sit down. Oh, treasure tower. I'm in the Lotus Sutra. That should be your mental preparation, Namu, for the expectation of Buddha-ness from your invocation. Right? Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. It's a small thing. It's a conditioning thing. I offer it to you. As I said, it's on the website. You can download it if you need to read it. It's a synopsis. It doesn't have all the verbs and nouns I just threw at you, all the words. It's kind of a little reminder. It maybe print it out and put it on your table, on your altar, as a reminder. Oh yeah. Don't let it distract you from the treasure tower, but maybe it's something you just lay on a desk on your side, as you're about to, just as a reminder. Maybe you need that. That's okay. right? Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. I want you to get the marrow of your practice, yeah? With great appreciation and expectation. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Oh, how precious is this moment, and this moment, and this next moment into the next moment. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. How can you have that kind of appreciation, that kind of insight, that kind of... If you're going to drag all of your negative attachments, emotions, bull crap of the day, it doesn't belong here. It doesn't belong at all. It's a fabrication. Oh, no, it's not. You know, we had this disaster. I understand. But reinvestigate your practice. Oh, yeah. This is not permanent. This is changing. This may be ugly right now. Okay, it's ugly. But it won't be ugly forever. What do I do with ugly? How do I behave with ugly? How do I live with ugly? There's only one answer. Turn your mind to Buddhahood. Your Buddhahood will figure it out. The only reason you're struggling is because you're not in your Buddha mind. You're in your samsaric mind. It's panicked. Stop. Calm down. You don't have to be there. In fact, there isn't there anymore. So stop hanging on to it. Right? Going to your Butsudan, being in the treasure tower chapter, should be, is meant to be, is taught to be liberation from all of that. So don't shoehorn it in, right? Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. Thank you, patrons. Thank you for your practice. Now I'll get back to Nichiren and karma. I'll see you then. Bye for now.